Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, we're constantly swimming in this sea of information, right? Always looking for that bit of inner calm. What if you could actually reliably find stillness, not just think about it, but like access it, as a state your body learns? Well, that's what we're exploring today. We're doing a deep dive into something pretty unique called 𝗓𝗓, that's Macedonian for equanimity, balance. And this isn't just, ambient music. It's described as an integrated experience.
Yeah, it's really meticulously designed by TATANKA.
Yeah.
They use some advanced AI tools, actually, for the soundscapes. It came out August 15, 2025, and the whole point is to actively teach your nervous system how to find that balance.
Okay, so our mission here is to figure out how it does that. How does this blend of sound design, meditation science, and even poetry guide you towards equanimity?
Right. We need to unpack the tools, the ideas behind it, and see how they connect to offer this tangible path to stillness. And what's really fascinating is how it's structured. It's built on these three core pillars.
3 pillars, okay.
Yeah. First, there's the earth frequency, 7.83 hertz. It acts as this kind of symbolic anchor, but also a physiological grounding point.
7.83 hertz.
Second, there's a very carefully measured neuroacoustic staircase. It's designed to guide you down into deep theta brainwaves.
Theta, like deep meditation states.
Exactly. And the third pillar is the poetic narrative. It's mostly in Macedonian, and it gives the whole technical journey this really human, emotional core.
There's that quote you mentioned earlier from the Macedonian poet 𝗓𝗕ᗕ𝗓.
Oh, yeah, it's powerful. If you carry a thing unspoken, a thing that weighs on you and pains you, bury it in deep silence. The silence itself will speak it.
Wow. So how does how does sound and structure actually help you do that? Help you find that deep silence where things can resolve?
And that's exactly the aim. And TATANKA really supports that process. They actually make all the project documentation public.
Really? Like what?
Like the neuroacoustic map, the frequencies they use, the carrier waves.
Yeah.
Everything. It's all free downloads, streams.
That's pretty unusual.
It is. And it emphasizes that this is about deliberate practice, not just passively listening. It invites you to actively engage, to understand the journey you're taking.
Okay, so let's dig into that first pillar then. The Earth's quiet heart, the 7.83 hertz frequency.
Right, the Schumann resonance.
Yeah, people call it the Earth's heartbeat sometimes. It sounds very metaphorical. How do they make that frequency something you actually feel, not just, a number?
It's about placement. Really clever placement, actually. They put it right in the middle of the album. Track 5, which is called The Near of the Mind.
Ah, the midpoint, like a pivot.
Exactly. It works as a kind of reset button for the nervous system, a natural baseline to steady your attention before you go deeper.
And you mentioned it's treated like a felt place you can occupy.
Yeah, because the album gradually descends towards it. So as you listen, you start unwinding tension from the earlier tracks.
Okay.
And reaching that 7.83 hertz point, it feels like a deep exhale, like you're grounding yourself.
Ah, I see. So it's gentle. They avoid hitting you with a sudden low frequency that might, startle you.
Precisely. That gradual approach avoids that potential jarring effect, especially if you're new to this kind of sound work.
But how does it become tangible? You mentioned the track title, Mirror of the Mind.
Right. They connect the frequency to that mirror imagery. The idea is non-judgmental awareness. Thoughts might ripple on the surface, but the mirror itself, your core awareness, stays intact.
Okay, so the frequency becomes a kind of reminder.
Yeah, almost like a mnemonic device. Settle, see, and let pass.
Yeah.
It's a practice you can then take with you off the headphones into daily life.
That makes sense. Grounding first, then the journey inwards. Which brings us to the second pillar, this neuroacoustic staircase.
Exactly. This is where the binaural beats come in strongly.
Right. Binaural beats the two slightly different tones, one in each ear, that create that phantom beat in your brain.
That's the one. And the album's 12 tracks are mapped out with very specific binaural beat frequencies to guide your brain waves. It's like your brain starts to gently synchronize.
Okay, so how does that progression work? Where does it start and what does it take you?
It's very intentional. It starts in the low beta, high alpha range. Why there? Well, that helps release that sort of mental chatter or static. But without making you feel immediately drowsy, it's an entry point.
Okay.
Then it carefully steps down through the alpha theta border.
Ah, the gateway to deeper states.
Right. And then into mid and deep theta. Those are the brain waves linked to deep meditation, introspection, emotional processing, that real stillness.
You called it a staircase of small differences. Why is that gradual approach so important here, too? What if the frequency jumps were, really big.
Well, big jumps can feel jarring. They can pull your attention out of the experience. It can feel overwhelming.
Okay.
This staircase approach builds a sense of trust, almost.
Mm-hmm.
It gives beginners a sort of soft landing into these deeper states. And for people who meditate regularly, it preserves their sense of agency. They can navigate it comfortably.
And the binaural beats themselves, they're mixed really low, right? Like -36 dB, felt more than heard. Why so subtle? Doesn't that risk them not working?
That's a great question. It seems counterintuitive, maybe, but the goal isn't for you to consciously hear the pulsing beat. It's for your brain to subconsciously perceive the frequency difference and naturally entrain to it.
Ah, I see. So making it too obvious might actually be distracting.
Exactly. This low level allows the entrainment to happen subtly beneath the surface while you're immersed in the music and the atmosphere. It makes it surprisingly effective without being intrusive.
And this careful design means the experience is consistent, right? The same map yields the same territory each time.
Yes. And because they publish the technical details, you can actually track how you respond over time. You can see, okay, this frequency range seems to affect me this way. It allows for personalization.
Okay, so we have the grounding earth frequency, the neuroacoustic staircase. But what gives it soul? That brings us to the third pillar, the poetry.
Yes, the poetry as practice.
Now, for an album aiming at universal balance, some might ask, why use Macedonian? A language most listeners won't understand. How does that guide attention?
It's a deliberate artistic choice, not just decoration. The specific sounds of Macedonian 𝗓𝗕,
Hmm.
the cadence, the consonants, the vowel lengths, they were chosen because they blend, they couple really beautifully with the ambient sounds and the long reverbs used in the album.
So the sound of the language itself guides you, even without understanding the words.
Precisely. It becomes part of the texture, guiding attention. Plus, each track does have a kind of concise, emotional thesis, a feeling it wants to convey, which comes through musically and vocally.
And the lyrics themselves, the images, they're not just abstract.
No. They function as contemplative cues. Things like storms that settle, or anchors that find bottom, mirrors that do not crack.
Ah, okay.
These images help translate abstract ideas like grounding or resilience into something you can almost feel physically. Like imagining an anchor dropping helps you literally feel a sense of weight settling in your body.
Connecting mind and body through imagery. That's clever.
Yeah, and there are subtle regional inflections in the language, too. It gives it this distinct sense of Balkan place.
So it's not generic.
Not at all.
It's total.
It makes the art feel honest about where it comes from. And that specificity is actually a strength. It's like they're modeling how you can blend local craft with a universal practice. Let the language be specific, let the silence be shared. It avoids that kind of bland, generic wellness feel.
Okay, I get the pillars now. The grounding, the staircase, the poetry. It's a really integrated system. But how does this play out for real people?
Well, there's a really compelling story connected to this about 𝗓𝗓𝗓.
𝗓𝗓𝗓?
Yeah, 𝗓𝗓𝗓 is a fluid gender mapuche artist from Valparaiso in Chile. And their journey with TATANKA's Orchestra Americana really embodies the album's message.
Orchestra Americana. What's that?
It seems to be a collective TATANKA works with. A space described as assuming diversity is the natural order. You know, artists from Syria, Kenya, Canada, all working together. Less competition, more co-creation.
Okay, and 𝗓𝗓𝗓?
Well, 𝗓𝗓𝗓 was initially hesitant, feeling marginalized. But within this orchestra space, they found their voice, their place.
And how does this connect back to Equanimity and the album?
Through a key insight 𝗓𝗓𝗓 gained. That balance isn't about being perfectly smooth or erasing your uniqueness.
Oh.
𝗓𝗓𝗓 realized balance is not smoothness, it is the meeting of contrasts. Their own perceived roughness, their unique identity, wasn't something to overcome, but the very source of their resonance, their instrument.
Wow, that's profound. So true balance embraces the contrast, the complexities. It's not about eliminating them.
Exactly. It's a dynamic thing.
Yeah.
𝗓𝗓𝗓 described feeling the Earth's resonance from that mirror of the mind track, feeling the planet affirm their existence, including their uniqueness.
So their story shows how valuing those diverse, maybe marginalized perspectives actually grounds and elevates everyone.
Precisely. It highlights that when we design art or communities that truly honor every voice, we don't just create harmony. We embody balance itself.
That really brings it all together. And this all ties into TATANKA's wider mission, doesn't it? Their motto.
Yeah, LODO, music meets mission.
Music meets mission.
And that mission feels deeply connected to indigenous wisdom. They feature quotes from Sitting Bull, the Lakota Sioux chief.
Which ones?
One is about recognizing our connection to a mysterious power and yielding the same right to exist to all beings, even animals. It is through this mysterious power that we too have our being.
That speaks to the grounding, the earth connection.
Absolutely. And another quote, let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children, which speaks to that community, that collective harmony aspect we saw in 𝗧𝗧𝗧's story.
So these ancient wisdoms are woven right into this very modern, technologically sophisticated project.
Exactly. It's a powerful synthesis.
So wrapping up our deep dive today, 𝗧𝗧𝗧 is clearly much more than just an album.
Definitely. It's a tool, a neuroacoustic map, as they put it, and a method, a practice you can actually use in your life to find that still point more reliably.
And it's transparent, it's repeatable.
Yeah, which is key.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is think about your own journey towards balance.
Yeah, if 𝗧𝗧𝗧 found equanimity not by erasing their roughness, but by embracing it, how could you find more stillness, more presence, by acknowledging and integrating all the contrasting parts of your own experience?
Even the parts that seem contradictory.
Especially those, perhaps.
Yeah.
What does it really mean for you to return to silence? Not necessarily smooth and polished, but whole, balanced in your own unique, complex way.